Hey guys, I hope you're doing great today. I hope your day is going amazing, or it was great, depending where you're at, right? Today has been a little weird for me in a positive way, but I wanted to tell you guys about it because, these are the type of things that happen when you start following your heart, when you start doing things that you're supposed to do. And, it wasn't too long ago that I started actually like following my path again. I had done it in the past. I have found bliss before, but unfortunately I let myself get derailed, and that completely messed up my whole my process. Although I also believe that everything happens for a reason, and you're always at the right place at the right time, depending on divine, the whole how everything's supposed to happen, right? You learn lessons here and there, even in the moments that you feel that maybe you made wrong decisions and things like that. It's never, what I'm trying to say is we can learn from everything in life, everything we go through, right? But yeah, so recently, ever since I started posting these videos, it has made me make sure that I am following my path, so that what I present here is nothing but the truth to you guys, right? So that it can really help you, and it helps me too. It helps me stay on the path. And so with that said, today I had to go to the supermarket real early in the morning after I dropped off my son at school. And as I was walking to the store, I just felt something flew on top of me, and it landed like on my chest, and something told me just don't freak out, because at first when I kind of glanced at it, it looked like if it was a spider or something, like really long legs, but it wasn't. It was a dragonfly, and it just stood there for like 3 seconds. And me being somebody that pays attention to signs and everything, I was like, okay, I have to search what this means, but that wasn't the point, right? So okay, I let it go. It flew off peacefully. I looked at it, I said, okay, you're good. If you want to stay there, that's fine. But it flew off. So I went into the store, I bought what I had to buy, and as I'm coming out and I'm walking towards my car, I hear like an argument, right? So I turn around to see who's arguing or whatever, and I see these two grown men, about to fight. Like they in stance and everything. And I'm like, I don't know what came over me, because even though I am all for peace and everything like that, unfortunately, sometimes when you get involved, innocent people get hurt, but I don't know. It was just something that came out of me, to just go and try to break it off. I was like, I know we need peace, and so I go towards them, and at the moment that I'm going towards them, it was this one guy, right? He was pretty tall, and then this other guy was like this size compared to him, and the small one, he swung, right? But it was, honestly speaking, the other guy, the taller one, from what they told me later, I guess he was in the wrong. Not really in the wrong, he was just in the way. It was in the plaza. So I guess the shorter guy was trying to go through, the taller guy was in the way. The shorter guy got out of the car, he knocked on his door. The tall guy claims that he almost broke his window. So I don't know, I wasn't there at that time, but that's what they told me happened, right? But the whole point is that I saw the tall guy kind of like, he acted like he was going to start punching. So the shorter guy swung. You gotta understand, like, I mean, if somebody acts like they're about to hit you, you're about to defend yourself, right? So that's how I saw it, but I saw it and everything. It wasn't even, but he couldn't reach him. He was just like, he just kind of like tapped them and stuff. But the taller guy did have blood going down his nose, but it was like, it must have been a scratch. It must have been, you know, because like I said, you couldn't see any like actual puncture or anything like that. You just saw like the blood just came out of nowhere, right? But anyway, but it wasn't bad or anything like that. The guy, I didn't even know the guy was like bleeding or anything until he said something like, "Look at me," you know. But the whole point is like I'm here, you know, like a crazy lady saying, "Guys, stop! No, we need peace." But it just came out of me, you know, like it just came out of me and say, "Hey, you know, like come on, man, you know, you don't need to do this. Just go home, you know, let it, you know, just let it be." And the short guy, the one that sang, like I'm not saying he was right, but I understood his action. I will probably react the same way if I'm thinking you're about to hit me. I have to like defend myself at least, you know. And so, but the tall guy was already calling the cops. You know, he was threatening him and everything like that, and talking about my brother's a lawyer and blah blah blah. You're going to jail. So I'm telling the other short guy, I'm like, go home. I was like, just forget it, go home. You know what I'm saying? Like, leave it alone, because they were instigating each other. You know, like one would say something or the other one would have to respond or whatever, you know. But it was like a little kids argument, I promise you. It sounded like little kids arguing, man. And I was like, please, you know, just let it go, this and that. And that's when they started explaining to me, no, he did this and he did that. So me, as a third party viewer, I explained what I saw. I was like, well, he didn't really like punch you. He tried, you know, but, you know, I was like, it looks like he just probably scratched you or something, you know. But at one point, the tall guy stopped listening to me. The shorter guy, he looked like he was trying to listen to me a little bit more. He kept trying to go to the car until he would say something he needed to respond to. And I would just keep telling him, just go, go, go. So at the end of the day, the tall guy, he was like, okay, you know what? We don't need to get the cops involved. You don't need to go to jail. But give me $100. That's when I knew this guy was just trying. You know what I mean? Like, come on. And that's when I was like, I was like, bro, to the short guy, I was like, just go home, man. It's not worth it. It is not worth it. I was like, go keep living your life. It's just not worth it. And so, you know, at that point, I said, okay, right now they're not even listening. So let me just get out of the way. I feel I said what I had to say. You know, I did get some attention and everything like that. And, you know, at least they felt like there was a witness, you know, so that there were no lies and stuff like that. So anyway, you know, when I turned around and I went to the car, I glanced back just to see if they were still there, like arguing, but they had left. Like in 1 second they left. So I'm praying that they just went their separate ways, you know, and that nothing bad happened, you know, that it didn't escalate to anything further, you know. But anyway, you know, I went home with that thought, you know, of like what happened. And, you know, like I said, and I live in Florida, so over here people can carry guns and things like that. That's another reason why sometimes you have to be very careful with the situations you get involved in if it has nothing to do with you, because you could just become an innocent bystander. But I do believe that, you know, there's divine timing for everything. There's a divine plan for everything. And even if I was a innocent bystander or not, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. You know, we're gonna go when we're meant to go, no matter the situation. You know, when you think, oh, this is it, no matter the situation, if we're gonna go no matter what. So that's what kind of led me. Like I was just like, no, I'm about peace, and I'm gonna try to bring peace no matter where I am, you know, if I can, you know. And I found that to be like an opportunity, but that helped me also, because it was something that I genuinely just did out of my heart, like not looking for attention, not looking for anything at all other than, no, you know, your brothers, you know, as if I was talking to actual brothers, you know, arguing like, yo, stop this, you know, it's not worth it. And it's not. You know. So, you know, I want to encourage you guys that when you feel safe and called to do it, that's the way that we can also give, you know. That's the way we can also contribute, you know. Be the guidance that some people need, you know. Be God in that moment, You know, I grew up believing that, you know, when people say, you know, where's God, or whatever, like, I don't know who I heard it from, but since I was a kid, I heard, well, you know, God is, you know, that homeless man that needs your help. God is this person that, you know, needs you for whatever reason. It's just, you know, like, God is in all of us. And if we help each other, you know, you're doing God's work, you know. So not only as God, but as a good child. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, as much as you can, try to get involved, you know, when you see that your light can, you know, when your light is needed in the darkness. And that was a dark moment. Maybe not directly for me, but for them it was. You know, nobody really likes to argue, but things happen. You know, nobody likes to fight, but things happen, you know. So it's like, in the moments that we have control, some sort of control, excuse me, my nose is itchy. Whenever we have some sort of control, let's get involved and let's spread like positivity, you know. Let's not just let it go, because, you know, I feel that if there was a lady actually that was coming our way, and she was for the tall guy, you know, she was for the tall guy, and she had just come out of the store. She didn't know what was really going on. From my perspective, she didn't know what was going on, because I was there a lot longer than she was. She came even when the shorter guy had already swung, so she didn't even know what was going on, in my opinion. And she's here already instigating, shouting, I'm sorry, but like these remarks that like instigating, you know, instigating stuff. And you're gonna find a lot of people like that too. So you have to be different. You have to be that one to solve, you know, issues like that. And, you know, the reason why I mentioned, you know, my growth is because, like I said, doing these things changed my heart too, for the better, every single day. Every single day. It's like, you know how when you try to, when you want to what you call it, when you want to teach somebody something, the best way is like hands on, you know, like lead by example. It's, you know, it applies to everything, including this. And, you know, this has like me do these videos and, you know, focusing on myself and trying my best to do every right decision, like that has been changing my life so much already. And it's not, it may not seem like it in the outside, even though it is also affected in the outside, but it's mainly inside. You know, like I feel my heart so light, not light, because, you know, my decisions, and we all have that power to make decisions. That's the beauty of being a human, that we have, you know, we have willpower, and we have the capacity to make choices, even if things are already written in the stars, you know. But we are able to still make choices to either go left or right. You understand what I'm saying? And there is no wrong or right. It's just, you know, maybe you just need certain lessons, and maybe that's why we derail from certain, you know, from our path. But at the end of the day, we align with our path when we start walking, you know, with God, when we start doing things from the heart, you know. And to me, God is also, you know, our heart. God isn't within us. So, you know, like I said in the beginning, I say God because I'm connected to that. You know, I grew up Catholic. So it's like, I don't know, it just feels easy for me. But I am also somebody that believes that I am God. You know, I am also, you know, as God, you know, as He created us, or, you know. But I do believe, of course, and respect the higher power, you know, source, which at the end of the day is all us. So it's like, but in this human experience, you know, we have our own personalities, we have lifetimes that we have lived, so it's beautiful. it's a blessing to be here, you know. But sometimes we miss that. Sometimes we miss that with life and everything, you know. We concentrate too much on the little things instead of like focusing on actually enjoying the moment here. um you know, so I encourage you guys to always get involved, you know, when you can. Another, you know, not so stressful situation that I had recently, and I was with my daughters, and I love them so much, and I'm so proud of who they are. You know, they're beautiful inside out. But there was this one night that I went with my daughters to a store. We went to buy something, and in the parking lot, there was a couple. My daughter was going to park, and she even got not upset, but you know, she was like, ugh, because there were people, you know, they had the door open and she couldn't park in the space she wanted. So she was like, come on, lady, close the door or something like that. And but then she went to another parking spot, and then we noticed that the reason why she was like, you know, in the way is because their car was not starting. They needed a boost, right? But I don't have a the spark plugs, and they didn't either. So I, you know, they spoke Spanish, and I told them, I was like, is everything okay? Do you need any help? You know. And so, and my daughters, sometimes when I do things like that, because I normally do things like that, I talk to strangers and things, I don't know, I go based on what God tells me to do. And so I went, and you saw them at first like, mom, but then, you know, they noticed like, no, they did need help or whatever. And right away, of course, they came by me, by my side, and we all tried to talk to them to help them. And so I was like, well, I don't have a spark plug, but if you have any, I don't mind using my car. But they didn't either, and the only thing I could do for them was pray, right? So I was like, well, I cannot help you with that, but you know, I did a prayer. I put my hand on the car, and I was like, God, please help them or whatever, you know. I was like, I pray that everything works out, whatever. And the lady was so grateful, you know, she was so happy, but you know, the car was still there. But as we are leaving, right that second, there was a guy that was coming towards us, and he said, do you guys need a boost? You know. And I said, well, I don't, but my friends here do, you know. And so no problem, real quick, so nice, he got in his car and he was ready to like go and help them. And we did, my daughters and I, we proceeded to like go and you know, to the store and do what we have to do. I'm thinking about, because I said they have beautiful hearts and stuff like that, but I'm not saying what they did. No, but it's just that they also try to help. You understand what I'm saying? They do things like that too, but they also have to see an example. You know, we have to teach our children to be kind to others. We have to teach them, like, don't be embarrassed to go and ask somebody if they need help. You know, sometimes we hold back because you don't want to look crazy or whatever, and you can be somebody's blessing, you know. So right there, that guy came, and these people, they didn't speak Spanish. I mean, they didn't speak English, they spoke Spanish. So thankfully I'm bilingual, and I was able to, like, so they felt comfortable speaking to me, although the other guy, he seemed like he didn't speak Spanish, right? But he still came, he still, I believe, helped, because when we went inside the store, you know, I didn't see the whole process or anything like that. I kind of like left them with him. And so when we came back out, the couple was gone. So I see it as, you know, they were able to turn the car on and everything. And that was such a beautiful moment, you know. It also filled my daughters with like that satisfaction of like, wow, we did something for them, you know, like we helped them, you know. And we didn't really do much, but we did pray, because that they did help me. They, like, we prayed over them and everything, and like instantly that happened, and they noticed and they saw that, and you know, that makes them want to do more things like that. And I think that's beautiful. So, and it's necessary. So, you know, things like that happen, you know. And if we can do something, let's try to do it. Let's try to be there for our brothers and sisters, you know. They don't have to be related or anything like that. Let's lend a hand to those that need us, you know. Sometimes people don't say that they need something, but if you feel it, just ask, You know, it doesn't hurt to, and it can help them, and it helps you too. It gives you the G points with God. You know, so yeah, just wanted to say that. And the last thing that happened, which I thought was so cute, and I'll post it on the community. It was I was in the house, and I don't know where I do live near a little lake, and there are ducks there and everything like that, so it's not like they came out of nowhere. But I've never seen like a mama duck with her little ducklings walking by or anything like that. And I went to my, to the back of my house just because, and right there I saw this beautiful mama duck with her little ducklings. It was like 7 or something like that. I didn't count them really, but it was a few little ducklings, and they were all in my backyard and everything. That was so cute. So of course, again, I searched the meaning of like ducks and stuff like that. And it's beautiful because they represent family, abundance. I don't really look into every single thing, but when I looked into, the meaning of ducks and stuff like that, they even say that they're very spiritual. They have that energy of spirituality. They have the energy of abundance, family, togetherness, nurturing, and it was such a beautiful thing. So I don't know, it's just, you know let's be good to each other. Let's do our best to do what we can to help those around us. All right, and you will be compensated in many different ways, but mainly, and like I said, and I continue to say, and I do, I this is like a mission for me. It really is. It's like a mission for me to help myself and to help others to live a life, with your heart as light as a feather, and to share how, share the things that I normally do that I feel probably help me to, to get all these blessings that I do get. And my life ain't perfect, guys. I lack so many things, but in reality I don't, because I know that I'm abundant in many different ways, and that's good for me. It's good enough for me. And things such as money and things like that we care for in the 3D world, those follow. They follow after, but we have to be abundant inside first before anything reflects outside. Because let's say, for example, right, I know when I was younger, and even not too long ago, because come on, many people, if not all, we dream of winning the lottery, right? And I tell God, I'm like, God, if I win the lottery, I'm gonna do good for people, and I'm going to do this and do that and everything. But it's, in reality, I myself have so much to learn, so much. I haven't had this YouTube channel up for a long time. I mean, I've had the channel, but what I'm doing now, I have deleted things through time. And, but I feel comfortable now because I'm me now, right? So it hasn't been too long that I've been doing this, that I've been really following my path, because that's all I'm doing. I'm strictly following my path. If I feel like doing something that I feel is not in alignment with who I am right now, then I make sure that I make the choice to follow what is in alignment with me. And that's what has been helping me. And whenever I do that, the blessings come pouring from everywhere, to the point that I got free lawn mowing yesterday, right? I looked at my lawn, and I was like, damn, I have to mow my lawn, but I needed to wait for my next paycheck, to stuff like that. And yesterday, as I'm working, I work some days at home, some days I don't. As I'm working, I hear somebody mowing the lawn, and I thought it was my neighbors at first, but it was too, like, the noise was too strong. So I said, who's doing my lawn? And at first, I don't know, the first thought I thought about was like, a neighbor paper. I don't know, but it wasn't that. It was really a service that I had for a while ago, but I canceled it. I canceled the service because, you know, not for nothing, but they didn't do a good job. You know, you're gonna be paying a certain amount. I want my lawn to look nice, right? So I canceled it right away, but I guess the company didn't work that way. I don't know. It was a big confusion. And I had canceled since last year, but somehow they, you know, reactivated my thing, and they just send these people basically out of nowhere, you know. And so they did the lawn and all that, and they were almost done too when I saw that, and I was like, because they did it real quick. And so I went to them and I said, I'm sorry I didn't order this service. And they said, well, it's from this company. And I said, well, I know the company, but I canceled that a long time ago. So I had to call them and everything, and I explained, I was like, I'm not supposed to have this service. And the lady said, well, you know, that we did cancel it, but it reactivates, I don't know, some weird stuff. The whole point was it got reactivated, but I told them, I was like, I'm sorry, I don't want the service, you know. And I already have like a lawn mowing person. And just like that, she's like, well, don't worry about it, you know, your service is canceled, and you know, you don't have to pay for the service provided today, you know. And yeah. You know, things like that, like things would just fall on your lap, even if maybe, you know, even if I don't have all this money and everything, but I'm always provided for, no matter what. I'm always provided for, you know. And it has to do a lot with the things that I do outside, you know. But it takes a lot of working from the inside. I'll leave you guys with that. But oh my god, 26 minutes. All right guys, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for everything. I love y'all, and have a blessed day. Bye.